Hey, what's up, AJ?
What is up, man? Dude, I am so sore.
What
You know
happened?
why?
No, I don't. Tell me. Talk to me.
Oh my God.
Explain it like I'm
Just
a 4-year-old.
because there's so many games to play and there's a lot of physical ones and it's great. And I've been playing, dude, I have almost played all 40 games that have been, or whatever, 40 something games that have been released. I've almost played each and every single one to some degree, some of them a lot, some of them just a little bit.
Mm.
This weekend I was playing lots of Pistol Whip and Kayak VR, and man, let me tell you, that is a deadly combo.
Nice. Oh man, I'm feeling real lazy then because I've just been trying to get my Tales from the Galaxy's Edge review done. That should be up, I think, late tonight, I believe. A couple hours after GameScast. I just need to spend some more time editing that. And
Nice.
dude,
Can you spoil the score?
can I spoil the
Is
score?
that yeah?
Can I spoil the
Yeah, you don't
score?
have to. I just messing with
Listen. If you guys want to stick around to the very end of the show, and if my memory doesn't fail me, I'll spoil the score.
Okay.
How about that? You get the
you.
score.
I got you, cats.
You get the score
'Cause he'll
2
never
hours
remember.
early. There's no way I'm going to remember. You have to remind me. The cats have to remind me. It's just, you know how this works, man. I will forget the second we start the show. Speaking of which, AJ, you want to start the show?
Let's start the show, baby.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Two Eyes Friday, right here on PSVR without Parole. We do it live on YouTube for your viewing pleasure and for your convenience, or for your excitement, or for your enthusiasm, or for your pet dog Spot, who got hit by a bus when he was just 2 years old. And we also do it in MP3 format for your convenience, if you like listening to podcasts. That is. So you can find those on podcast services of your choice. Yes, including Spotify. My name is Brian Powell from this channel right here, PSVR without Parole. And to my right is AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
That's right. I forgot we're on a podcast as well, so I'll have to use my deep fireside podcasty voice. Or not. What is up, Brian? What is up, Game Cats? Happy Monday. And I know that Mondays usually suck, but we are here, Brian, to ensure their Monday sucks. Just a little bit less.
That's such a huge responsibility that you put on us, AJ, right? To make someone's day suck less. I mean, like, we say it all the time, but like, that's, dude, if my day's sucking, ain't no one gonna walk in my door and be like, I've got the solution for you. I'm gonna be like, go fuck yourself. I'm going back to bed. Where's the vodka? How you doing, man? You've been playing a lot of games. You said during the intro you've been playing a lot of games. Is anything kind of stuck out to you? Anything that surprised you?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, yeah, I'm doing great. And, because like when you don't see me, I'm basically playing games. And then guess what? When you do see me, except for here, I'm playing games. Yeah, I've been playing so much stuff. And yeah, Pistol Whip. I haven't been playing like tons and tons of Pistol Whip, but I've been playing a good bit, but just a little bit of everything, man. And I'm trying to figure out what to kind of hone in on and, settle down. Before doing this review stuff with you and talking, covering it on the channels and stuff, I used to just basically in my own time, I pick like one game and I like go all like deep dive into it.
Yeah.
I sink so many hours into it. So it's not usually my style to play tons of, 40 different games at once or try to. It's a lot to take on. It's exhausting. That being said, it has been really, really fun. I played so much Gran Turismo 7 over the weekend. As somebody was asking, yes, I did get my game wheel mount thing, and it's so much better. So I'm actually hoping to be posting a review of that at some point. And yeah, like I've just been playing a bunch of other little things. Kayak VR is fantastic. Pistol Whip. Dude, the one thing I'll say, if you want something that sticks out really well, the one thing I don't hear a ton of people mentioning, I know you maybe mentioned it, but when you're playing pistol whip and the bullets zip by you, and like especially like 3 bullets, and the way that feels, they actually almost simulated that directional rumble really, really well. But yeah, I've just been having a blast playing everything, man. Like there's more than not are the games really, really good so far.
Yeah, no, I'm actually shocked. Like people try to downplay the launch lineup all the time and say, "Oh, it's just Quest Sports, it's games we had on PSVR1, oh, whatever, this and that." Dude, I mean, as I saw with Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, even when you're playing a Quest Sport, it's like just so much better than any previous version that we had. The haptics in the haptics in the headset and the haptics in the controllers on Pistol Whip. Amazing, man. Like that really makes that game even better than it was. So yeah, dude, I 100% agree. I'll tell you, I'm gonna be very happy to move on from Star Wars. I beat that game. I did a bunch of the side missions, a lot of the extra stuff, and I had a really good time with it. And so getting that review out the door and being able to move on to the next thing, for the love of God, I hope it's Switchback. Like that will be amazing,
Yeah.
Dude. I mean,
Switchback comes out this week. Oh, I'm so excited!
Right,
I'm so excited.
This is launch part 2. Like this is a game that we wanted at launch. This was a game that was supposed to be there at launch, and we just had to wait a little bit longer. But man, Switchback is probably, I mean, just oh man, yeah. I think like once we get Switchback keys, man, it is going to be. I'm going to be doing nothing else between now and launch. Can't wait.
Yeah, and then what? Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 next week. Like, holy crap, man.
1 and 2. It's just in case you want to replay the first one.
Are you going to replay the first one? I want to know.
You forgot to close the door. That's just what it sounded like to me. I'm sorry. I mean, I want to, right? But we're in this we're in the greatest problem to have era ever, and that's that we have too many games to play, and I have too many games to review, and I really just I can't waste time playing a game that I have already played, but I want to get in there and just take a look at what Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 looks like on PSVR2, because I think we were pretty damn happy with the way that it looked on the Pro and on PS5 on the PlayStation VR1. So I just kind of want to see like what were the PC gamers seeing? Like how good can this game possibly look? So I'm interested, and I'm definitely going to jump in there. But man, it's going to be all about Chapter 2 once it gets here.
Enhanced gameplay, Brian. Enhanced gameplay.
What do you,
joysticks?
Yeah, I mean that enhances it for me for sure.
No, but yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we got a good month coming up, man, and then the following week is The Last Worker, which I mean I hope I am wrong about. That game doesn't seem like it's for me, but I'm definitely looking forward to being wrong.
Right.
AJ, you know how we always thank a bunch of people that help this channel run, all the people that, support us on Patreon, all the channel members, all of that stuff, people who tip us here, which of course I saw some tips go by. We'll get to you guys in just a second. There's a whole other group of people that we like to thank every single Monday, isn't there, AJ?
That's right. It is Monday. We would like to thank those who support us in another way by changing the name to something Gamecat, something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week we have 8 new Gamecats to welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. Woo-wee! 8 new changes. That is a lot, man.
That's a whole, dude. I think it's been a long time since we had 8.
Yeah, I love it, man. Keep growing the Gamecat army, and especially the Gamecat Underground army, which I'm seeing here because our first one is Dutch_DJ, the Underground Stranger on Dire Parole Gamecat.
Bing!
GC.
Just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
I love it, man. I love it. Showing support to the whole Parole crew. Love it. That's my dude.
Rolls off the tongue.
We've also got Nidhogger, the easy to please Gamecat.
Bing! Oops. Bing! Sometimes the bing doesn't work.
Cheesy,
there we go.
But he's easy.
It ain't easy being cheesy.
Wow. Oh, we've also got Kawa 004 now, the sleepy Game Kitten. Didn't we do this one like twice in a row now? Or did she change it again?
She changes it every week. It's only ever so slightly different.
Okay. What I've called it. That's my Fortnite co-op partner. The one time I played Fortnite ever was with Kawa. So
Kawa's awesome. We love her. It means do you know that Kawa means coffee in Polish?
No, I didn't. That's awesome though.
Right? She has my heart in multiple ways.
Yes. We've also got Serial Killer. The Game Cat is feeling lucky.
Bing. Hell yeah. Serial Killer, another one who changes his name pretty much every week. You guys are really on the ball this week. I love it. Thank you.
That was my awful trying to do Clint Eastwood.
It's horrible. It's very just absolutely fucking terrible.
I need like a lemon. If I could like suck on a lemon, I could probably do his face better.
No one can see your face anyway, man. It's covered by GameCat name changes.
I love it. We've also got Rhodey, the GameCat Army General reporting in.
Bing.
Soon to be Admiral.
I do,
Commander.
Right? I do love that we're just assigning random ranks in the GameCat Army now. Didn't know that. I mean, wait. So what is that? What does that make us?
We report to all of these people.
Oh, 100%.
We're like the bottom of the chain.
We're fucking grunts, is what we are.
Yes, we're on the front lines. Mm-hmm. We're the human shields, basically. We've also got David Appleseed, the Aussie Game Cat.
Bing, dude! I gotta give it to David Appleseed. He is persistent, right? So not only does somehow he got left out of the last 2 or 3 GameCat name change shoutouts. But on top of that, today, like my computer was just like wasn't having it, right? I was getting all the different names in, and I was like, wait, why do I only have 7? And of course, David was the one that was left out, and I was like, even my computer does not want to give him a shout out. So way to be persistent, David. I apologize for me being terrible at my job.
We've also got Garbanzo, the Game Cat's Toe Beans.
Bing!
I love it.
Toe Beans.
It's so Game Cat adjacent, dude. I got to give a shout out to Garbanzo as well as everybody who I've totally forgot. I played Runner all the way through. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've had much of a chance to play it yet.
Not much at all.
Yeah, but I streamed that all the way through, the full playthrough, and the little secret Final Fantasy VII level that they did. And dude, everybody, Garbanzo included, everybody's like blown away by Steve Blum doing the voice. There's a lot of Steve Blum fans in our community. I have learned recently.
You got to clue me in, man. Like I don't know who Steve Blum is.
Steve Blum, Brian. Steve freaking Blum. Get with the program. Like your childhood. He's a very, very popular voice actor. I think he does like Wolverine. He does a lot of I think 80s shows. I'm not the one to ask for this. You made me look bad now.
I see how it goes. I see.
You called my bluff, and I was bluffing.
Steve Blum. Fucking love Steve Blum. That's what I'm going to do next time, and I'm just going
to. Maybe somebody in the chat will tell us.
Tatum in the chat says Judy Bloom.
Judy,
like same person.
Oh, it's different.
AJ, who's our last GameCat name change?
Finally, last but certainly not least. Matthew Longo says he's going to be Wolverine in the new Insomniac game. It looks like.
Oh, congratulations, Matthew Longo, for being the new Wolverine in the new Insomniac game.
And he's Spike in Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, at least I know characters. That's good.
Okay, so now you know one.
Yeah.
Finally, last but not least, we've got Bad Bill, the UK Game Cat. No, I'm sorry, UK the Game Cat.
Bing, wait, bing, bing. Oh, that's the ding that I'm turning on and off. Where the hell is the last cat? Oh, there he is. Bing. Bad Bill UK the Game Cat. Oh, nice. Okay. When you were reading, I was like, what the hell is he saying? So, guys, if you don't know what all these shoutouts were for, it's because Game Cats are the loyal following of Without Parole. So if you like to show us that you love us almost as much as we love you, then change your name on Google or YouTube to reflect that, and then put hashtag GameCat somewhere in the comments below any video so I can find it and give you a shout out, or make AJ give you a shout out on next Monday's show. There's so many cats. This is going to be very difficult if we get more than 8.
Bing. Oh yeah, man. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. We love you, and we appreciate your support so much. Speaking of which, Nihilist Ryan the Gamecat in the chat with the $5 tip says, by the end of, here we go, Before Your Eyes, I had teared up so much I got tears on my lenses, and I had to scramble for my microfiber cloth so the salt didn't hurt them. AJ, did you have a chance to play Before Your Eyes?
Dude, okay. I'm starting to realize that I am probably pretty dead inside because I see everybody talking how much this game made them cry, how it is a must-have PlayStation VR2 title. Some people are saying it is the first must-have PlayStation VR2 title. I did play. I beat it yesterday, maybe. And it was nice. It was creative. I love the use of eye tracking, and I like that it did something different. I did think it told a pretty, was a well-designed story. That being said, I don't think I related to it very much because, like, I just kind of went through it. And I was like, oh, that was cool, sure. And like everyone's talking about how much they cry, and I don't know. I didn't connect with it a whole lot. I also chose made a lot of decisions that I wasn't really happy about. And then at the end, it seemed like it didn't even matter. And so I was like, well, I was hoping to get kind of punished for accidentally choosing the things that I didn't like. But it was okay. I love the use of eye tracking, and I thought it was a well-designed experience, just maybe not for me.
Okay. Yeah, no, totally understandable. I mean, like I felt somewhere, like, obviously in the middle. I saw Greg Miller out there being like, this is the first must-have PSVR2 game. And I was like, This is the one you're backing?
I'm like, dude, right. Really?
Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think as a narrative, as a VR narrative experience, it was really well done. And it made me tear up.
The first though, Brian.
Yeah.
The first.
I got nothing for you, man. I'm like, he's not here. I can't defend him. He can't defend himself. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm all about loving games, but the first.
Dude, I'm all about some Greg Miller, right? Like, I fucking love Greg Miller, but every time he talks about PSVR 2, I just want to shake him like a baby.
Oh, too funny.
Yeah, no, we're going to get him on the show one of these days and make him pay for his sins.
Respect to supporting for enjoying the oddball stuff, though.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah, no, and in fact, it was funny because I wanted Before Your Eyes to, like, take it even further and give me the Gone Home experience that I crave so much. Gone Home is, like, one of my favorite walking sims or narrative adventures, whatever you want to call them, kind of ever, right? Like, it hit me in the feels so hard. I remember just, like, bawling at the end of that game as I'm running up the stairs to the attic, and it was, like, such a big thing. And then and like Before Your Eyes, like, it unlocked that door, but it didn't fully open it. You know what I mean? Like, it was getting there, but they just didn't go far enough for me. So, so I'm somewhere in the middle. I heard a lot of people say they absolutely loved it, and a lot of people, there were definitely some people out there who were like, this just wasn't for me. It didn't do anything for me. So I get it both ways.
So what did he say about it in his tip? Was he just giving it a shout out? Oh, he's just saying it made him cry a bunch.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all right, man.
I think I already read it, right? so we're good.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling back, man. I'm scrolling back because now I am kind of curious, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Now it's Ryan. Before the end of Before Your Eyes, I teared up so much I got tears on my lenses. So there we go.
Everybody's telling me I'm cold-hearted.
You are, but it has nothing to do with this game. We got Red Rover. Red Rover, send Joe Grover right over. The Upping Gamecat with the $2 tip says, my official Galaxies Edge score. I loved it. Fun. Well, since you told me your score, Red Rover, I will give you my score. I'm giving it an 8.7. Like,
ooh, wow.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Dude, because, and here's the
summation. I gotta jump back in there.
Here's the summation, right? Like, Horizon was probably more amazing during moments. Gran Turismo was more so real. Resident Evil Village is scary. But Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, for me at least, this is the most fun game I've played since turning on my PSVR 2 for the first time. The most fun that I've had. So,
wow.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Very crazy.
Crazy. All right. Salvador with the $5 tip. Just stopping by to say, y'all and the cats are the best. Back to getting ready to get married this week.
Hell yeah! This week,
You found somebody to marry
Sal.
you? Oh, I mean, congratulations.
Congrats, dude. Sal's such an awesome dude. Congratulations, man, and appreciate all the endless support you give us. I mean, this dude is getting ready for a marriage and is still here and present and being supportive. That is awesome, man. Appreciate you, dude.
I'm changing the trailer, so I would love to say something, but what are we going to do? All right. We got Looper the Gamecat. Sorry. Looper the Underground Gamecat with the 2 euros.
Game Squad.
Townsmen VR makes me want a Dino Frontier remake. I haven't played Townsmen. Haven't even started it. It's like one of the few I haven't even started.
I played it Saturday.
Yeah? And?
Yeah. I was liking my first impressions.
And then
it's kind of silly and stuff, but in a good way, and it seems cool. I was actually really interested in checking it out. Again, just so many games, so little time right now. We still are digesting all the games at launch, and I played it for a good, I think, 45 minutes to an hour, and I was liking it. It was fun. You can you're building, you're collecting resources, you're assigning these people roles to chop down trees or hunt animals, and then you can there's some physics and interaction, not really good physics, but they're there. So if you accidentally walk touch one of the people, you can accidentally smack them and they fall over. And they get it's just silly and goofy and fun. Not bad so far. Plus, when you pick up the kitty, there's haptics when it purrs, which is nice.
Well, then I'm suddenly more interested. This will be my next review.
It's not bad.
What was the? This is going to drive me crazy. What was the name of the game? Early PSVR 1. Very similar. You look over kind of like a town or a settlement. These little dudes, you can kind of pick them up. You can tell them to do different things.
Is this 20 questions? Does the developer make other games?
No, I believe not.
Does it have move support?
Yes, it does. It was somebody in the chat's gonna get this before I can figure it out. But the characters would get unhappy and shit, and they would jump. They would walk up to the tethered. Yes, they'd walk up to the edge of the world, look sad, look down, and then just fucking fling themselves off. They would commit suicide. It's one of the most painful games to play. You're please don't do it. I promise things will get better. Fucking craziness, man. Craziness.
Yeah, I really liked Tethered at first, and then it just got kind of boring.
Yeah, I was the same way. I liked Tethered for a few hours, and then I just lost interest completely. So, oh my god, hold on a second. I ate you before Gamecat. This is gonna be.
You gotta be careful reading some of these names sometimes. I was nervous for a second. I'm what is that gonna mean?
Something's gonna be racist. I just know it. Somebody's gonna trick me into saying something fucking racist or homophobic.
Don't you do it.
And then I'm gonna get canceled, AJ, and that'll be the end of Without Parole. I ate before game. I ate you before Gamecat. Still doesn't sound quite right. Canadian 279 says Switchback this week. How pumped are you, dude? So pumped. Did you miss the beginning of the show? We're so pumped.
Just pumped, brother.
Yeah, definitely excited. We're hearing that keys are going out, man. I just can't wait to put on the headset, get in there, and play. I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control. And I think I like it. AJ. All right, man. Listen, you guys, if you ever want to be part of the show and you don't know how, well, there's a good way to do it. And you can join our Discord by clicking the link in the description below. Come and hang out. These conversations, I swear they're better than this one, but most of these conversations like this are always happening in our Discord, and it's fun to come hang out and be part of it. AJ, so many people joined our Discord yesterday to be part of the Gran Turismo multiplayer meetup. That was, dude,
oh, nice.
It was so much fun seeing just voice channels full of Gamecats, knowing that there were 30 different people, all Gamecats, playing Gran Turismo together. It was awesome. We've got the greatest community ever, and man, Gran Turismo rocks. But Other than that, you can
Yes,
always
it
leave your
does.
viewer takeover questions on our Discord as well. And if you ever want to get your question on the show, you can always put it in the comments here or the chat here while the show's going on, but very frequently.
You want to know a secret, Brian?
I don't know.
You gave your
Do you want to
Star
know
Wars
a secret?
You gave your Star Wars review, and let me just say, I'll give you I'll do you the same, and give you what I'm going to score Gran Turismo.
Is it if it's not a 10 out of 10, then you're fired.
Well,
I didn't give it a 10 out of 10
because, well, unfortunately, I'm just kidding. It is going to be my very first 10 out of 10 for PlayStation VR 2. It's not so much that it's perfect in every single way, because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fucking masterpiece of a game. And if Gran Turismo 7 is not a 10 out of 10, nothing can be a 10 out of 10. And this is, of course, with the asterisk that using the wheel and using the wheel and the rig setup is how I'm going to be reviewing it as well. But yeah, man, going to be the first 10 out of 10. So stay tuned for that after we get past Switchback and Saints and Sinners, and like 6 months from now, look forward to that review.
Yeah, I mean, Gran Turismo is. I mean, that is 100% the way to play this game, with a racing rig, with a wheel. And not everybody has that ability. Not everyone has the space for it or the money to buy it, and I totally understand that. And that is why I think that, like, I couldn't give it like a perfect score. I mean, there's actually a bunch of reasons I couldn't give it a perfect score, but I think I give it a 9.8, which is pretty damn close.
I mean, you might as well. You should have gone all the way. You should have just gone all the way.
I'm saving it for RE4.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see what happens. But man, yeah, Gran Turismo is just stellar. Maybe if I wasn't so bad at the game, I'd give it a better score.
It's challenging, man. It can be pretty challenging and pretty tough, but it's worth your time and investment and money and all those things.
Way more.
It's very rewarding when you spend more time with it.
Way more challenging than the game itself is navigating the comments that tell me how much I suck at the game. And I'm like, all right, I get it, man.
Yeah.
Remy of the Gamecat, the 12 Euro says, I picked up Cities VR over Townsmen, played 4 hours straight without realizing, but then I saw multiple areas are pointless as the game was designed for one tile only. So sadly, adding more city is boring now. That's interesting, man, because I know Miles was loving it. But yeah, that is true. The game was absolutely designed with one tile in mind. That's how it plays on the Quest and PC, or Quest at least, and with the enhanced edition on PSVR2, they were like, oh, now you can build the city 9 times bigger than it was before, than you could before, which is like very, very cool. But if like the game doesn't, if the gameplay wasn't adapted for that and the reward system wasn't adapted for that, then that's pretty silly. But I can't wait to get to it. It's on my list. Everything's on my list, but that one is definitely there too.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to that one either yet. That's one of the very few.
I thought. Sorry, I thought that was the middle of your sentence. That's one of the very few. No, but now I understand. I didn't want to interrupt you. There was just going to be silence for 5 minutes. So again, over on our Discord, we have our viewer takeover channel, and T Chatton, I think I got the name right, says, is there any way we can encourage Super Hypercube developers to do a PSVR 2 update? Freaking love that old launch title for PlayStation VR and would love to revisit it on PSVR 2.
Who makes that?
Well, that's the funny part, AJ. The people that make Super Hypercube are Polytron. Are you familiar with Polytron?
No. It sounds familiar, but that could just be because it's called Polytron.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a lot of things.
Strangely, I don't have a trailer for Super Hypercube. That's really strange. Like that.
Shocker.
Yeah. So Polytron is co-owned, I believe, by Phil Fish, who made Fez.
Oh.
Right. And apparently, at some point he said he quit the video game industry. He's never going to make Fez 2, blah, 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 the whole thing. But I love Phil Fish, right? Because I saw Indy Game, the movie, and he's a total dick. And I was like, I understand you,
that
right?
Guy.
Like, this is the things he's yelling are the things that go on in my head. I'm like, you're saying my thoughts, Phil. And so, and he might be a total dick. I have no idea, right? I only know him from the documentary. But I messaged him on Mastodon. That was the only way I could get in touch with him. I had to create a Mastodon account to get in touch with Phil Fish.
Wow.
Still waiting for a response. But the reason I brought this up, AJ, wasn't because I wanted to say how much I love Phil Fish, where like everyone else hates Phil Fish. The reason I brought it up is because there's so many PSVR1 games that we've forgotten about, that people don't talk about anymore, that like, are just going to get lost to time. And that I really do think it's very, very important we start assembling a list of these games that we don't know what's happening with, right? And then we just do our absolute best to get in touch with all these developers, let people know, like, that these games need to come to PSVR2, and find out like what the situation is, and see if there's any way, I don't know, like GoFundMes and shit. Like,
y'all just want me to play Dread Halls again. That's what this is all about.
It's true.
You're evil. You're evil.
I mean, dude,
I was liking this idea, and then because I'm like thinking, yeah, Astrobot, all these games, and then I'm thinking in the back of my head, I know Astrobot's more of a well-known game, but then in the back of my head, I'm like, do I really want this though? Because then that means Dread Halls might come to PSVR 2,
right?
And I don't think I could handle that.
Well, we are getting Cosmophobia, right? So, Cosmodread,
yeah. You combined
all sorts of stuff.
The two games,
yeah. So yeah, I just like even if like, because I think the important thing to find out here, AJ, is like what games aren't going to happen. I'm sure if we email 100 or 200 developers, half or more will come back and say, yeah, we're working on it. It's definitely in the plans. We have this other game that we're working on first, but we'd like to get that over eventually. Like, we're waiting to find a PSVR 2 port studio, something along those lines. I'm sure that's going to be what most of the responses are, but there's going to be a bunch that are just like, we can't do it, man. We're not a company anymore. The company dissolved. We didn't have enough sales, blah, 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 whatever. And I think it would be amazing if we actually took the initiative and started like some GoFundMes or whatever it is, Kickstarters for these studios, or we convinced them to start Kickstarters for themselves, and said, with the backing of the Gamecats, all these people want your game to be made. How much money is it going to cost, right, to get this ported? Like, what are PSVR 2 port studios charging? I'd love to find that out, and then just kind of give these games some attention so they don't get fucking lost to the sands of time. I'm stressing over here. I don't want that.
Yeah, man. I hope this has been a nice therapy session for you to get this off your chest. I mean, look, in all honesty, I would love stuff like the Solus Project, but like, to me, I'm ready to move on. I'm like, I want next gen stuff. I don't know how much support you're going to get for Super Hypercube out there, but best of luck to you. I know. Cold-hearted. Remember, Brian, cold-hearted.
It's true. Balrami of the Gamecat with a 2.5 euros says Darkness Roller Coaster will come 110% 3 times. It'll show up on the PlayStation VR2 store many, many times over. They're still working on Bad Dreams. I heard it wasn't horrible. I heard it might even be good. The Darkness Roller Coaster guys. It's like their first real game. The first one they said they had no idea what they were doing, obviously. Lucky in the chat says, "Hey, is this episode on early?" No, this is
You forgot to set your clock forward.
The whole world isn't on the same schedule. AJ, that's the crazy thing. Is that so? Like,
right.
So for some people, this is actually an hour early. They don't change their clock for a little bit. So, yeah, we're on U.S. time, U.S. Eastern. So that's what's happening over here. All right, man.
Also, set your clock forward, just in case he's not in the U.S.
Also, tweet at Phil Fish. He is. Let him know we want Super Hypercube. Aceville VR in the viewer takeover section says PSVR 2 is awesome. Sure. But is there a section of the community that has not upgraded? Have you heard their take on things? Do they still play the PSVR 1? Did the numbers bottom out? Tons of great stuff over there. Hope they don't feel left behind. I'll stop talking now. Okay. This is a hard thing to gauge, right? Like we'd actually have to create a poll, which, geez, I wish I had the capabilities of doing, AJ. But have you heard of anybody specifically in the community saying that they haven't upgraded or they're not going to, or they don't want to? Any stories like that?
I have. In particular, they're just waiting a little bit. Like they're waiting for either the cost to go down. They're waiting for, like, they're just still saving up. That's been the most of the cases that I've heard, is that they're just still saving up a little bit, and because it's an expensive hobby, it's an investment, and so yeah, there's people just waiting. Within the next couple months should have theirs as well.
All right, I just created a poll. It should be in the chat right now. Very, very simple. I probably could have worded better. Probably could have given you way more options, but I wanted to make this easy. Have you upgraded to PSVR 2? Yes or no? So let us know, because I'd love to know the percentage of people out there who are still on PSVR 1. I'm sure it's a huge percentage, probably way more than we expect.
I bought a PS5 2 goddamn years ago for this thing. Yeah. Damn right, I have a PSVR 2 now.
This is true, right? I mean, if PSVR 2 had come out 2 years ago, I would have bought PS5 and PSVR 2 on day one. I would have maxed out that fucking credit card, man. I don't care what it would have taken. And so, yeah, but obviously this is only anecdotal evidence, but I do see a lot of comments from people saying, God, what was it? I think it was like Project Wingman and the new Aces of Thunder announcement. On those trailers, I got comments from people saying, God, I hope they bring this to PSVR 1. And I didn't have the heart to respond and say, not a fucking chance. Like, I think it's a minor miracle that Skydance is going to bring Retribution to PSVR 1. Like, and when I say minor miracle, I'm like, somebody over there is going to realize at some point that there's no point in doing that. Like, it's going to sell 17 copies, right? And those 17 people are going to be so happy. But like, that doesn't recoup any port cost at all.
Yeah.
I would not expect to see too many more PSVR 1 games. My hope, AJ, is that the people who are on PSVR 1 right now are people who got in late, who didn't spend 6 years playing PSVR 1 games and saying, man, I can't wait for next generation. That maybe they've only had it for a year or two and they're playing catch up.
Or there's people waiting for a certain game to drop and then they'll buy it. Like, they're waiting for that killer announcement title that will make them go out and be like, okay, now I'm ready.
Exactly. I just want to do a quick check-in. It's 15% of the people watching. They've got 141 votes. 16% of the people watching have not upgraded. That's a pretty decent. This is a hardcore PSVR community. So very, very interested. I'm going to leave the poll up for a little while and see if we can get some better numbers. Bad Bill UK, the Gamecat, with the £2 in the chat, says, just got Gran Turismo 7. OMG, wow, one happy Gamecat. Purr. I wish I could purr. Can you make a purring noise? Warms my soul.
Every time.
Every time. All right, man.
I wish I could do like the Predator though. That's way cooler.
Okay.
I have a friend that can do the Predator and he can do clickers from The Last of Us.
Oh, nice.
It's so great. I make him do it all the time.
Predator clicks.
What we're talking about?
Predator clicks.
Aces
too, right?
of Thunder, Brian. Speaking of Aces of Thunder.
Speaking of the news story that I was going to skip because we're running over on time. What? Aces of Thunder actually got announced last week, and Miles and I were so over on our time on Friday that we didn't even talk about it. We had to cancel that one from the run of show.
I'm not pushing Aces of Thunder to talk about Super Hypercube, Brian. Sorry, no, we're leaving it all in.
So Aces of Thunder got announced. This is the result of the poll, right? It was a poll that Gaijin Entertainment put out recently. It was like very recently, like within the last couple months. They put out this poll saying the developers of War Thunder. They said, "Hey, if we did like a spin-off game for PSVR 2, would you guys be interested?" And apparently the answer was yes, because this announcement kind of came out of nowhere very, very quickly. What did you think of this, man?
Well, I love the concept. I love dogfighting games and everything. I was a little concerned at first, but then I watched the trailer again. I read about it a little bit. Watching the trailer again helped a lot, and kind of analyzing it a little bit more. And it seems like it has a lot of potential, I'd say. It looks like it has a lot of potential. I am a little bit worried about some of the stuff that people are saying around this game, and I guess the model, the free to play microtransaction kind of model that War Thunder has, that people are kind of not happy about overall. But I don't know. And then you go to the PlayStation store and it says experience the thrill of aerial combat like never before with Aces of Thunder, the upcoming VR game made specifically with capabilities of PlayStation VR2 in mind. It will be focused exclusively on aerial combat and distributed on a paid model.
Yep. So this sounds like a free-to-play game with a shit ton of microtransactions.
Okay.
I mean that's my guess here. I've never spent a single second in War Thunder. That said, AJ, when this got announced, I got comments from people saying they spend thousands of hours in War Thunder. It's been out for a long time, so they've had a chance to do that. And so people love it, man. Like, despite maybe what the pricing model might be set up to be, the fact is if it's a good game, like, you know, then it might be worth putting up with some microtransactions and that kind of stuff in order to, you know, experience what this is all about. People begged for flight sims for 6 years straight, right? And if we don't actually embrace this because of it's like it's free to play with microtransactions or something like that, I mean, like, dude, I love Fortnite, man, right? And like Fortnite, free to play, microtransactions, one of the most fun games of the last generation. It's like, it's, you know, I'm not terribly concerned, unless it's like just, you know, massive price gouging and ridiculousness. Yeah.
I've never heard anybody in their description of their game on the PlayStation Store say it'll be distributed on a paid model. Like that's a feature.
Well, so maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're saying that it's not free to play because War Thunder was.
That's what I was thinking.
Right. And so if they're saying it's a paid model, that actually puts those fears to rest. Like, you're paying $60 or $70 for this. We're not doing microtransactions.
Right. And that's what I was thinking, is that it's not free to play, that it sounds more like a paid model. Or paid model sounds more like you pay for the game.
Yeah.
It's just weird like way to put it. But yeah, I would totally rather just pay for the game once and then play it. You know, absolutely. I don't mind paying for sometimes DLC, things like that, additional content that, you know, if they're, you know, a good value, that they put a lot of work into it. I don't mind that as much. But I also don't think that's a good idea for a VR game to have paid DLC, unless, I don't know, it doesn't work with every game. It works for something like Beat Saber with like music packs, but a game that you're trying to have an online player base, like you're trying to build and retain an online player base for something as niche as dogfighting, paid DLC content does not sound like a good idea. It sounds like it might break up the base and lead to demise. But the gameplay looks really fun, man. It looks, you know, I love the sim flight style controls. I want to be able to use the orbs in as many games as possible. I don't want to have to use the DualShock. You know, to me, the orbs are part of the best part of PlayStation VR2 right now. That's why I love Resident Evil Village so much. And it's just, yeah, like I want to really get to explore more gameplay types with those.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. I just think it's great that we're seeing this. We got the accidental leak announcement of Project Wingman. It's like, you know, one of the most begged for genres on PSVR1. We've actually gotten 2 announcements. And the launch only happened 2.5 weeks ago. So like things are definitely trending upwards for PSVR2 as far as people getting what they want.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I'm one of those people. Project Wingman, I'm definitely more excited about that one. But who knows which one actually turns out being better. And then, of course, the dream is hopefully we get the next Ace Combat in VR. That's what I really want.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I mean, and I think these actually provide two different experiences, right? Because Project Wingman is a single player campaign, and then this is supposed to be multiplayer. So yeah. Oh, and I think Project Wingman is supposed to be a little bit more arcadey too. And this is more of a sim, so a little bit of something for everybody. It seems like.
And shout out to Ultra Wings 2, which is scheduled to come this year as well.
Oh my god, I forgot about Ultra Wings 2.
Don't forget about Ultra Wings 2 because it's really good. From what I played on the Quest.
Yeah.
I really liked it. So, We will see. We'll have the battle of the flight games.
We shall see. AJ, were you around at 2 p.m. today when Ilysia did their huge announcement
Oh my God.
online?
How did I don't even know how I caught that trailer. Maybe they emailed me, or maybe I just was perfect timing.
Yeah.
But yes, I did see the Ilysia announcement trailer. Big, huge announcement. They really went over the top with that trailer, didn't they?
I mean, oh, sorry. This
Went all out.
This is the wrong trailer. Hold on a second. This is. So this, I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I expected. I was really, really hoping they had a bunch of announcements. They had like, some great new gameplay footage or something along those lines. But oh wait, is this? I have no fucking idea. Yes, this is the correct trailer. Okay, sorry, my bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess this gives us a little peek at what the graphics are looking like these days in Ilysia, which is interesting, right? And it's a little character running around. And then they said that the first beta begins next month in April. They didn't give us a date. They didn't even say platforms for the beta. We are fully expecting this to be a PlayStation VR2 game still, though. So it'd be really nice if we get the beta over here as well.
Those things look like Murlocs.
This was we fully expected this game to come out first, man. Like when all these different MMOs were announced, when there was obviously Zenith was the big one, but then there were like two other ones besides this, and then there was this. We were like, oh, obviously Ilysia is the furthest along. This is the one we're going to see. We absolutely thought that Zenith was years away, right? And then it wasn't too long before we actually got Zenith. So I don't know. I mean, I hope all of this time has been worth it. I hope that this turns out to be really something special and can differentiate itself from Zenith enough to to stand on its own 2 feet. The VR community is not that big, right? Like supporting two big MMOs, hopefully will be doable.
Well, the announcement, of course, Brian, was that the beta 1 was coming April 2023. So next month. Did you already say that?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, why didn't he say that yet? Okay. I was too distracted by the trailer playing in the background. Yeah, man.
Welcome to Mondays, everybody.
What I will say that this is a great opportunity for this game. I really do hope they knock it out of the park here, because I think as great as Zenith was, I think Zenith had a wonderful launch and was amazing. But I do think even though it still has like a community that's thriving and it's doing well, I do think there's still room for competition here, and there is this game definitely stands a chance, especially with the aesthetic, more of a World of Warcraft, fantasy looking game versus an anime one. So yeah, I mean, more options the better, and I hope this is really good. The world looks very World of Warcrafty, but aside from the forest, like, a forest and these little creatures running around, I haven't really seen much.
Yeah. Anyway, a little disappointed today because, they had been quiet about announcements, and I thought this was going to be a big deal, and to not even give us a date or even mention platforms that the beta will be on, or even like remind people like what platform the game is coming to, like, and then to only show this amount of gameplay on top of it, which wasn't even gameplay. It was very very crafted for the trailer. I don't know. I'm disappointed, but I'm obviously very, very happy for the people who are excited for this game, and for the people who are going to be begging to get in onto the beta. I will not be one of those people. It's going to take me a little while to get through the PSVR2 launch, and the last thing I need is to get into a beta. So there's that. Hey, just real quick before we move on to our next story, the poll results with over 250 people voting. 19% of the voters said no, they have not upgraded to the PSVR2 yet. So there's your answer, Aceville. Good chunk of people, almost 20%, almost a fifth of the people watching, not upgraded. And people watching are pretty fucking hardcore, I would say.
Yes. The hardcorest of the hardcore.
That's right. AJ, what's our next news story?
Our next news story, Brian, as soon as I pull up the email and find it, is Oh, it's the headline of today's show, which is lo-fi.
Oh, right.
We had lo-fi has come up in a topic because it can now be wish listed on PSN, and Blair Renaud, the creator over there, made a nice little tweet, said that it's now on the PSN to be wish listed, and that it is coming 2023.
Yeah, pretty nebulous release date, 2023, which is fine. If you guys aren't familiar with lo-fi, I think the most important thing to remember here, just being made by one dude, right? Like, and if I have my facts straight, I haven't checked in and been like, hey, is this all still accurate? He works like a regular job. Like he's not working on lo-fi 24/7. This is what he's doing in his spare time. And he's been doing this over the course of many years. And so, we've seen very, very cool products and very interesting indie games come out from studios this small before, right? We saw Zing the Land Beyond. That was 3 people. That was made over 6 years. We saw Separation. That was made by one guy over at Recluse Industries, Martin, who, spent years of his life making that open world puzzle game. This to me is still like somehow just way beyond any of that. Like this is to me is like some weird enigma, like how or weird anomaly, I guess. How does this come to be, right? Are you as blown away by this anytime you see it as I am?
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks very ambitious. He's gone on to describe the game as, it's not your typical linear type of game. It's very much more akin to like it's like a holodeck app almost, where you can get into this world. It sounds like it has a lot of sandbox and type things where it doesn't have your typical game structure, but I think what it's got going for it here is it has a heavy focus on the technical aspects of all the things it does focus on, obviously the open world, the visual aesthetic to it, some of the things you can maybe interact with. It seems like there's a heavy emphasis on kind of what it does from a technical standpoint. And I think that carries a lot of weight to it. That's why something even as simple as Kayak VR turned out so great, because it's just a simple kayak game. But when you put so much effort into the graphics, into the physics, and into just the attention to detail, it makes for a really awesome experience. And this could certainly be another one.
Chrome Colossus in the chat said, I grabbed lo-fi a few years ago and loved it, even in its unoccupied city. The flying and wandering in style were great. This is the interesting thing about lo-fi. It seems like everybody who picked it up and all the previews I could find online, because I haven't played this, right? I definitely was keeping a close eye on this a couple of years ago when different people were checking it out. When it was finally playable, you could get it on I think itch.io, and now you can wishlist it on Steam. But it was obviously in very early form. I haven't seen anybody really preview this thing in the last 2 years, right? And so today when we were like, oh, we're gonna cover this a little bit, I was like, oh, let me see what the most recent impressions are. And dude, the most recent impressions are still from 2 years ago, right? And then it was still very much kind of like this very beautiful open world cyberpunk city type thing going on. Obviously Blade Runner inspired. Ian Higton was who I watched today. I watched a 45-minute video from Ian Higton over at Eurogamer in Ian's VR Corner from 2 years ago, and he couldn't stop just kind of looking around in amazement. Right. And it was exactly what Chrome Colossus said, it was like all these great environments, things kind of worked. All the pieces were there, but there weren't things you could really do yet. And there weren't, and the NPCs weren't, activated, and, all the different missions you could do. It seems like this is super duper ambitious, but I don't think anyone has actually had a chance to play what this game is yet.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the gameplay stuff, the technical game structure stuff I've seen has all just been promises. I haven't actually seen an actual gameplay structure as so much as, oh, it's just you go in there, and because he talks about you can arrest people, like this is for 2 years now. I've heard the same thing about this and the gameplay loop, which is you can do whatever you want. You can go arrest people in the sky. You can become a criminal, or you can go play in the arcade. It's literally been that for like 2 or 3 years now, and it's like there's no story that I hear about. Like it's all just, again, these technical things, which could be great. I'm not saying that that's not great, but like I said, some of the game elements have been more of a promise than what I've seen so far. Which we're traditional, we're gamers first. We're traditional gamers. So as much as we love and can appreciate technical side of things, it's like, well, we also want to play just a badass game and have a fun time. And sometimes we need something to kind of lead us a little bit, to kind of keep pushing us to move forward.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And like the thing that I saw during Ian's gameplay, and again, this was 2 years ago, right? And that's why I'm sort of so fascinated by this, because I'm like, well, what's happened in the last 2 years, right? Because the shell was already there, this beautiful environment was already there, certain gameplay elements were already there. He could go into the firing, the shooting range, and fire off whatever the pistol in the game is, right? And Ian was really impressed by that. He's like, oh, the haptics are great, and like there's a distortion effect on screen, like when I fire it, and and you could go into strip clubs, and you could go into bars, and you could go all and then he could go into his craft, like the flying car type thing, and actually pilot it just like you would in No Man's Sky, right? And so you can go to autopilot just to go to the different districts that are around the city. Or you can do that yourself, and you can like fly in between the buildings. You can go fly down to street level, and so like again, like it seems like so much of this game was done 2 years ago, and so I want to know what's happened in the last 2 years. I want to know like what when you get in there, is there going to be like this campaign that also allows you to just explore the city and do whatever the hell you want to do, or is it you're going to get into the city and you just do whatever you want to do, and like there won't be a true game implemented.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like I do love exploration. So like if there's a lot of elements of exploration and discovery here, I will probably find it pretty enjoyable. But yeah, it's talking about there's all these little things to do. There's a big city. There's a lot of things to do, but to what degree is that actually like going to be fun? And there's a lot of NPCs to interact with, but are they interesting? Are they interesting? Are they fun to interact with, or are they just there and that's cool that they're there? So I don't know. I think it looks incredible. It looks like a really fun and immersive time, but it is a little, I don't want to say frustrating because I'm not like frustrated about it, but it is like, for 2 years now, there's like, is it all this? Is there like just a lot of mystique behind it, or is it just kind of fluff?
Yeah. I have a strange amount of faith in this game. I will say that.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah,
I think, like you said, even though it's one person, when you've had years to work on it, we've seen what some developers do is small, tiny teams. Mm-hmm. What they do with several years to work on a game, to take their time as they go, and we've seen what they've been able to accomplish. So that's enough time to make something really, really cool.
Yep.
And I will say one last thing is the dude has pretty good taste in movies,
right?
And he loves RoboCop. He loves obviously cyberpunk stuff. I saw somebody in the chat say, "Look, we just love Blade Runner, which is why we're excited about this game." And it's like, that's true. We don't have to overthink it very much. We all love Blade Runner, or most of us do anyway.
Blade Runner is phenomenal. Why haven't we gotten a Blade Runner game yet, or a Blade Runner inspired game yet? I think some games have hinted at that sort of aesthetic, but not really fully embraced it. This is absolutely a game taking place in that world. Yeah, and I can't wait, man. I think this looks beautiful, and I can't wait to just get out and see what you can do. And I
I
can't
do
wait.
love the freedom
Yeah, and I
of
can't.
the thought of. Sorry, good.
Well, I mean, when you say freedom, like, dude, it's like, some games really allow for freedom, but they don't give me anything that I'm like that I'm really curious about.
Right.
And like when I see a world like this is a world I want to inhabit. So I want to see what's around every single corner, right? That's why we love Blade Runner, right? Like, I mean, great movie, but also just great atmosphere.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So the question, AJ, that we posed on the thumbnail, at least, if one person could do this kind of over the course of many years, is this kind of upping the ante for like indie VR developers? Because we've seen so frequently, and this is going to sound super negative, but I hope it doesn't come across that way. So frequently we've seen indie developers put out games like Just in Time Incorporated or Job Simulator, or games that just look a particular way, very, very basic, geometric shapes and the cell shaded look and the cartoony look that some people can't stand, right? And it just screams indie game. Even End Dreams with Ghostbusters is going for this kind of cartoony look, right? Does something like lo-fi show us that, like, we should expect more from indie developers, that not every time a game is coming from an indie studio do they have to sacrifice this visual fidelity in order to make the game?
Well, I think for a good 10, 15 years now, indie games has kind of changed. When we used to think of indie games, games have evolved a lot. And so, yeah, I think just the standard, the expectation, the bar has been raised a long time ago, even before VR. So yes, they have a little bit more wiggle room because this is a new medium, and so I think you can get away with a little bit more, especially if it's something that has yet to be done, in particular. But no, I think they still need to be judged by their own merits and what they're trying to accomplish and achieve, and it's still gonna depend on how it executes everything. And indie game or not, like, I have high expectations for fun gameplay experiences, fun immersive experiences. Like I said, Kayak VR, 3 people, incredible technical achievement, very impressive. Blown away by that over what some of the AAA studios have done in terms of visual fidelity and physics. Yes, it's a smaller game. It doesn't do as much. It may not be a better game, excuse me, but it is definitely a better technical achievement, and I think that holds some weight to it.
Yeah. Duggars K in the chat says, not all indies are created equally. This guy is next level looking at the graphics here. So the funny thing is it's interesting, right? Like, I feel like you would look at an indie studio and say, well, they have way more opportunity and they have way more money and they have the way more potential to make better looking games. I mean, we can sort out gameplay later, but as far as just like what games look like these studios that are funded seem like they should be the ones making the best looking games. But in reality, it's like, if you have all the time in the world and you are not working someplace with a deadline and who has investors, and you have to launch a game at a certain point or your studio shuts down. Like, that's just like the way the fucking industry is. Like, you've got to launch a product at some point or the money runs out, right? And so if you don't have a deadline, something different happens. And so what I like about this story with Lo-Fi, and maybe even Kayak, is that anybody can make a game. Like, we've gotten to a place in video game history where you don't have to be Electronic Arts or Activision. You don't even have to worry about getting your game into GameStop or Best Buy, right? It can be digital only. And then the tools with Unity and Unreal, they've made it so you can just be one person making a game, making this passion project, making this like, hey, how come no one's ever made a Blade Runner VR game before? Tatum, I saw you in the chat, okay? We know that Blade Runner exists, okay? It's a point and click adventure, and it's not a good one, all right? I understand. But so you get this passion project. You're like, well, I want to make this game. But you can, right? You can learn the program. You can learn to use these tools. And so that's what I really like about this story, is that it just says there's so many different ways to get a game made, and now anyone is capable of it. So I think,
the ways to make a successful game is expanding as well. I mean, you look at, VR is still kind of in its infancy, but if you look at the mainstream games, a lot of the games that get a lot of praise, a lot of attention, it's starting to broaden more than just your. I mean, of course, there's always the big cinematic storytelling games like an Elden Ring, or God of War. But then you look at within the last couple of years, there's also been games like It Takes Two or that Hades game that are, they have a more stylized art design, but there's still room for indie games to be very successful. By the way, Brian.
Yes, sir.
Kayak VR was the #1 downloaded game on PlayStation VR2 in February. So that just shows you that I think I like the chances that Lo-Fi has to be successful, because I do think that there is a curiosity and an intrigue for realism in VR. Surprisingly enough, like, we like to escape to these fantasy worlds, but it does seem like when there's a lot of realism to the thing, people are very excited about that. People react to that very well. So yeah, I think I like this game's chances to be successful.
Yeah, I do too. I like that. And especially, if anybody has been playing PSVR1 for the last 6 years, or Quest, or anything else, any other VR headsets, your options on AAA games have been extremely limited, and I think that's really opened people's eyes to like how important indies really are to the industry and to the success of our headsets. So, just keep in mind that you can. Oops, I was gonna like make this awesome transition and be like, click, and something cool was gonna happen, and like it didn't happen. Just keep in mind that you can wishlist. Is that going to be it? That's going to be it. There we go. You can wishlist Lo-Fi right now on the PlayStation Store, and I think there's something about this, AJ, that makes it real. Right? I don't know how Blair and Out feels about this, but like just seeing it, being able to go to the PlayStation Store, like you can't even do this with Undead Citadel. I don't believe, like, being able to go to the PlayStation Store and click a button that says add to wish list, that makes it real. That makes me feel like it's really coming. And he's saying sometime in 2023, and as far as I'm concerned, don't rush it. Get this thing done when it's ready. And we will be very curious to see how it turns out whenever that day comes.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Clayton Young with the $2 tip, AJ, says, my most anticipated game, Behemoth.
Hells yeah, dude. I'm very excited about that one as well. I mean, again, well, we haven't actually seen like a gameplay trailer of it, but we've seen kind of like a cinematic trailer that really tried to illustrate what the gameplay would be like, or what the game experience is going to be like. And dude, I'm totally with you. I mean, I am like a glutton for punishment in video games, and this game looks very punishing and rigid, and I am very looking forward to that as well, for sure. Well, definitely one of my more anticipated games, but I hope to see more on it. But it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. This is if Behemoth manages to capture any of the vibes of a Monster Hunter game, of a Shadow of the Colossus style game, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled, right? Man, climbing really big things in Horizon Call of the Mountain was like, man, this is so close to the game that I really, really want it to be, right? That like, if Behemoth can capture that feeling, it's going to be awesome. But it also already looks awesome. So hopefully the game looks or plays something like this trailer that we're looking at right here. Seems great. Corky the Game Cat, good name, with the $5 tip says, my mom loved kayak so much that she's getting her first game system at the tender age of 64. Any game recommendations for a chill experience for one's mom?
Resident Evil Village.
I mean, obviously. Yeah, that's the obvious answer.
Still love it. Trust me. No, get her kayak VR is great. Get her Moss. She'll love Moss too.
Oh, that's a good answer, actually. Yeah.
Yes, Moss book 1 and 2 are excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, like I hate to go with like generic answers like, oh, job sim, right? Like maybe your mom's looking for like a real game-ass game. So yeah, maybe Moss is a good one. I don't know if I come up with any more thoughts, I'll let you know.
GT7 and a racing rig.
I mean, yeah, don't discount mom's abilities here, right? like throw her right in, man. Very curious to know what else mom has played. Kayak. If Kayak sold her on the headset, then you must have put her into a few more games other than that. Cool. All right, man. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
I mean, it's time for get my butt kicked in PSVR 20 questions.
Oh, is it now?
Mm-hmm. Did you pick a game?
You sure about that?
Pretty sure.
I did pick a game.
Fantastic. Well, guys, if you don't know what 20 questions is, I need your help. Because AJ's currently looking up a PSVR game. It might be PSVR 1, it might be PSVR 2. Maybe he doesn't even know quite yet. And it's our job out there, you guys and me. 20 yes or no questions to figure out what game it is. And we only have 6 minutes. I think, the clock is the harder part of this challenge. When they do this on GameScoop, I swear to you, they spend like 20 minutes sometimes. Damon's just sitting there like looking at his watch and like, this is fucking taking forever. So let's do this. Oh, hey, real quick. Paul Bellina with the $5 tip says, I'm a backer of lo-fi and yes, 60 myself, and I play everything. Okay.
Good for you, man.
It wasn't the age, Paul, we were worried about. It was the fact that it seems like it's her first gaming console ever and her first VR headset ever. It's not the age. It's not the age. My dad is even a bigger gamer than me, if you can believe it. You shouldn't believe that.
So lucky.
You shouldn't believe that. I don't think you can be a bigger gamer than me. Like my work is gaming, right? And then what do I do in my playtime? I game, right? I might not be the best gamer out there, but I do spend a lot of my day playing video games. That's awesome, Paul. I can't wait for us all to find out more about lo-fi. All right, guys, I'm gonna put 6 minutes up on the clock up on the counter. The way that Jeremy likes it. It's gonna be so nice seeing Jeremy again, don't you think? At the Gamecat Meetup 2024.
Hell yeah, it is.
Hell yeah, it is.
Nicest guy ever.
He really is. Do you know he killed somebody once?
No, I would never suspect it because he's got the biggest heart in the world.
Yeah, you know why? Because there's 2 of them in there. One's his, and one's from the guy he killed. Yeah. All right, here we go. On my mark, get Des, go. Is this game on PSVR 2 or announced for PSVR 2? Either or.
It is on PSVR 2 and announced for PSVR 2. Yes, I'll just say yes.
You're
yes.
AJing the fuck out of this. Okay, yes for PSVR 2. I was
trying to throw you off.
I don't even want to dive into this question. Okay, was this game also on PSVR 1?
'Twas.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that severely limits which...
I didn't think this was going to be that hard.
Okay.
Or is it?
Bum, bum, bum. Are there zombies in this game?
There are not zombies in this game.
No zombies. All right, that eliminates Saints and Sinners 1 and 2. Oh, good job, Chrome Colossus. I didn't even see that. Would you call this... is there a lot of fighting in this game?
I would say that there is a lot of fighting in this game overall. A good bit of combat, yes.
Okay. Would you call this... Would you give this game... would you say it's has a cartoony art style?
No, I wouldn't call this a cartoony art style.
All right, it's not Gorn. I'm sorry. But that was a good guess. Oh, not cartoony style. writing on the wrong side of the...
Mostly not cartoony. Maybe a little.
Okay. Maybe a little.
Yeah. It's a little cartoony-ish.
Okay, well that's
not. But to me, no. I would say
not
no.
Swordsman then either.
Some people would think it's
okay. This is good. Is it a sport?
It is not.
Damn, it's
not sport.
It's not Creed, you guys. Oh God, it's not Creed. Okay, it's not Swordsman. That's definitely got a realistic art style.
Ooh, Puzzling Places would be a good one for your mom or grandma. Was it his mom or his grandma?
Mom.
His mom?
Mom.
Mama.
Can you fly in this game?
You can not fly in this game.
All right. It can't be. I mean, like, I was gonna say, okay, is it a rhythm game? We'll just ask that question.
Nope, it's not a rhythm game.
Sorry, Mark. All right, man, we are eliminating all sorts of. Does it focus on multiplayer?
Oh, no, the focus is not on multiplayer.
Sorry, Bill. Okay, it's not Zenith. How there's not that. I mean, there's not that many PSVR 1 games on PSVR 2 or coming to PSVR 2. This is a good chunk, but not enough to stump us here.
I wasn't going to make it too easy. Come on now. I mean, it's pretty easy, but...
Oh, that's a good one, Lucky. Is there crafting in this game?
Ooh. Yeah, I'd say there's crafting in this game.
Okay.
That's 10.
Okay. See, the problem is that I mean, is this where the issue was with the cartoon art style?
What do you mean?
Is this a survival game, AJ?
Yeah, I'd probably say this is a survival game.
By any chance, did I give this game a 10 out of 10 review on PSVR 1?
I think you did give this game a 10 out of 10 on PSVR 1.
Might this be 17 bits, Song in the Smoke, rekindled?
No! It's the other game you gave a 10 out of 10 that has a slightly cartoony aesthetic that is a survival game and has crafting, Brian.
But the other one the other one has zombies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I asked that question. We were so close.
Dang it.
It's Song in the Smoke, everybody.
It is.
Good job, Lucky.
It is Song in the Smoke. Yeah. Good job, Cats. I saw some of them on.
You wouldn't say cartoony art style?
That's what, dude. I mean, look, when you're looking at the game from like your phone or something, it looks a little it does look cartoony, but you get in there and it does not look or feel cartoony at all. And the reason I wanted to bring this game up actually is because I started playing it again. Man, it's just so great. It's so great. They got the patch. They got it patched to where you can free jump because that was like missing day one. And that free jump feels so good. I was just running around going, ooh, ooh, and just like kind of just jumping across rocks and stuff and climbing. And dude, man, it is just so badass. And that game looks gorgeous at night. Yeah. It looks so beautiful at nighttime. It's amazing, man.
Cool. Yeah, this is definitely one I wanted to give a lot more attention to at launch. But on the launch day, the jumping wasn't there. They had to patch that. And so I was like, oh man, something's wrong. I don't want to spend any more time on this. I really wanted to see what the jumping felt like. I'm so excited, and I haven't been back to it since, obviously, because lots of games to cover. Man, I can't wait. I can't wait till the day where I'm like, oh my god, I'm finally caught up on the launch games. Like, I feel like we're far away from that day. Yeah, the cats agree. It's cartoony. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean,
Have you played it?
they have.
I mean, look, I tried to say yes, it is cartoony. I don't think so.
It wouldn't be Monday if you didn't AJ the fuck out of a 20 questions game.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
So good. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, Hooked Worm agrees with you, and so now we're banning him from the channel. Sorry, Hooked Worm. It was really nice knowing you. Click.
Nice.
Speaking of Click, great
knowing
movie.
you, Hooked Worm.
Everyone also agrees with me. Click is a great
Let's
movie.
not start this again.
Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This has been a fun time getting to hang out. I got to get back to work on my Star Wars review. That should be up in the next couple hours, probably late night. If it makes it by midnight, I'll be the happiest guy in the world. We'll see what happens there. But guys, thanks for hanging out. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with us and getting to. I was gonna say get into PSVR2, but just hey, thanks for sticking with us and getting to the end of the show, man. Like sometimes that's a journey within itself. AJ, make sure if you don't already subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, you go do that. AJ, you got good stuff happening on your channel, man. Like this is the most output I've seen from you in a long time. Give your channel a little push here. What's happening over there?
Dude, I've just been live streaming a bunch. I've been trying to cover because there's so many games. I've just been nonstop live streaming everything because it's the only way to try and give everybody a little glimpse at what everything is looking like right now. And then I'm trying to cap them all off with a review at the end. And this is only a little bit of what I want to do, but it's what I have time and physical ability to be able to do. But it's been a blast, man. Yeah, my channelytics were like, your channel has grown 444% more in the last 28. Yeah.
That's not an actual term that people use, is it? Channel?
No, I just made that up, man. I'm just trying to save time, but now you've taken that from me.
Well, I just want to make sure we never say that ever again.
But no, it's been a lot of fun, man. Saturday Night live streams are back, of course, and yeah, just a lot of games to cover, and it's been a blast, man. I got so much that I have planned too, but just trying to take it one thing at a time.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude! Trust me, I do this all day, every day, and still, it's so difficult getting through these games and getting the reviews out and whatever. So the fact that you're doing a full-time job and still managing to get great content out there, very, very proud of you, man. Thanks, homie. Things are going very well for the channels, for the family of channels at this point, and I'm just thrilled to see all my co-hosts doing well, and of course enjoying the PSVR2 on top of that. So guys, yes, click the link in the description below. Join us on Discord. Subscribe to AJ's channel. And just want to say thank you, of course, to everybody who makes this channel run. Jay Meow, who gets this thing up on podcast services of your choice. Yes, including Spotify. And Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, who gets timestamps into this sucker after each and every episode. And of course, if you don't already know, all the mods around here that do they work tirelessly, making sure that everything stays civil, not just here in the chat, but also over on Discord. Love those guys to death. My friends, my family. Can't say enough good stuff about them. We're going to wrap this shit up. Thank you, everybody who watched. Thank you, everybody who supports us on patreon.com/withoutprogames. Thanks to everybody who joined the channel membership without even asking what that we're going to do. We'll do something, I promise. But you guys are the best. I appreciate all the financial help. Of course, everybody who tipped during the show, everybody who commented, helped me with 20 questions, and of course, everybody who sat back and watched the show. Didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there, and we love you just as much. It's Monday, AJ. Can I cue the cat?
It is Monday, Brian. Now cue the motherfucking cat, because I want to say, see you guys on West Day to Lucky Sangera, says Night Tornado. Where's the cam?
I don't know where she is. I don't even know where to point the camera.
Matt Marjanovic, who I still think should be like an ESPN announcer. That is like the greatest ESPN announcer name ever, sure Matt Marjanovic. Mm-hmm. Why are you not a news anchor somewhere so that I can just say, and now here's Matt Marjanovic with the breaking news. Oh, Darth in the house tonight. What is up, man? Xavier, love you too, homie. Steve IRE. You know why he goes by IRE, right, Brian?
Because he's from Ireland?
That's correct.
Oh.
How did you know? Guys on fist bump to you. Mark Pringles Leaf says, great stream as always, Brian and AJ. See you both in the next one. See you on the next one as well. Aceville VR. I was going to say like Aceville the Attack Cat, Aceville of the Corn, Aceville, but it's just Aceville VR. It sounds so simple for Aceville. Nothing wrong with that. Aceville says AJ review Drums Rock. I did play some Drums Rock. It's not bad.
Review
it's not bad. Actually, I had a lot of fun. Maybe I will review it.
Nice.
It's probably moved up the list a little bit. Awesome Tatum in the house tonight. Bob Zarkoff, the Underground Gamecat. Elite Name Squad in the house. Timothy Stokel, later to you, my friend. Stupid Donkey, what's up? Secrets of, hello, good to see us. Tom Flesh Eater Gaming says, keep it horror, keep it metal, and play more horror Dreams. Yeah, some people are actually still playing Dreams. Actually, to answer your question about are people still on PSVR 1? Yes, there are some that still have their PSVR 1 hooked up just for Dreams alone. Sci-Fi Gamecat Henry, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for always doing the timestamps for us. And not only making timestamps, but making the best timestamps because they're hilarious.
Yeah, he doesn't get enough credit for that.
What's up, Blam? Mighty Potter, GC13, the Diet Pepsi Cat. I hope you heard all that shit we were talking about Behemoth.
Gonna be a baby game.
Gotta be a baby game.
Baby game.
Just like Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 next week. It's for babies. Stike Gamer, the VRAF Game Cat. What's up, man? Lose Reviews, Dan Kiefer, all of yous. You have a wonderful night. We will see you Wednesday, if not sooner.
Matt Marvinovich in the chat says, I will only be a GameCats announcer for you guys. Can you imagine if I actually was able to get this show together, like, earlier than minutes before the show? Then I could email.
It'd be nice.
I could email Matt a list of all the GameCat name changes. And
I think about how nice it'd be sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I could get an MP3 back or a WAV file back with Matt Marvinovich going, Dutch DJ, the underground stranger on Dire Parole GC Cat. Nid Auger, the easy to play. What do you think? Is
that like your version of like the NFL Blitz voice or something?
Oh, I don't know. I was just like
the midway. Maybe I should say midway.
The first announcer voice that I could impersonate. What do you think Matt Marvinovich sounds like?
I don't know. I just like saying Matt Marvinovich
with weather.
His name is so much fun.
With sports. It sounds
much like I said. Yeah, with sports.
Yeah.
Let's give him sports. He's been promoted to sports.
Okay.
Oh.
Bad Bill UK, the Game Cat. Serial killer, the Game Cat is feeling lucky. Okay, that's all I got. Let's get out of here.